Hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? Hey, I'm glad that you're back to the next video. Hopefully, you're not skipping these, or not skipping, but hopefully, you're not moving along really quick and trying to get this all done in 1 week because that's not how this works. If you try and put a time cap on how long it takes you to learn how to trade, that's not good. You know what? I remember there was plenty of times where I said, you know what, I'm going to be an expert trader within 1 year. 1 year is not even long enough to become an expert trader, honestly. Anyone who's been trading for a year is not an expert trader. I'm gonna let that be known. I still don't consider myself an expert trader right now. I don't. And I want you guys to realize that because if you don't put in the work, if you don't have the knowledge that you need to be successful in this market, you're not going to be able to get very far. You know, I heard this phrase before. It said, bullshit will get you to the top, but you can't stay there with it. There's even this story about this chicken and this bull. And what happened? Well, the chicken said, you know what? I want to get to the top of that tree one day. I want to learn how to fly up there. But chickens aren't even meant to fly. So you know what this bull said? This bull said, I'll tell you what, man, you go back over there, eat a little bit of my poop, and I'll bet you it'll make you fly. This bird went over there, got a few bites, and you know what happened? He took off. He tried to fly. He got about 10 feet off the ground. And the bull, next day, was like, the bird walks up, little chicken, walks up, says, hey, man, I flew yesterday for the first time. I only got about 10 feet off the ground, but I actually took off and flew. When I take off, it's only about 5. Well, the bird said, whatever you did, man, must be working. How can I get a little bit higher? The bull says, go back there and eat a little bit more of my poop. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now while I'm telling the story. And the chicken goes back there and eats a little bit more of the poop. So he takes off this day. He starts flying. He goes about 20 feet in the air. It's a little bit higher than last time. A little bit higher than last time. Well, he comes back the next day and says, you know what? I freaking flew higher than ever flown before. I was up there twice higher than I was yesterday. And the bull, he tells him, you know what? You eat the rest of that shit. I bet. Excuse my French again. I bet you'll be able to fly to the top of that tree. So he went back there and he ate the rest of the bull's poop. And you know what happened? He flew to the top of the tree. The next day, he flew back up there to the top of the tree. The farmer came out and he shot him down. Moral of the story: bullshit will get you to the top, but you can't stay there with it. So you have to know this stuff. I'm not making this up. I've been there at the point in my life where I thought I was on top. I had some bogus flashcards that I thought were really legit. I made the flashcards up myself, and they were just on my prior knowledge of what I've known. Um, and for a while there, I was living off my investment. I was living off my investment. Had a few great days. One day I made 800, and I was like, man, I'm killing it. I'm one bad mama jamma. And you know what ended up happening? A little bit later on, I made another 300, another 300 here, another 300 there. My good days, I was averaging about 300 to $400 a day. My bad days, I was getting about $30, or I was getting stopped out for $100. And I was kind of just bullshitting my way through it, and I wasn't really wasn't really all up to par with everything. So that's what was my downfall. And I ended up blowing my investment. And I had to move out of my nice apartment. Had the pool, the gym, massage chairs, the clubhouse, soccer court, the beach volleyball court, all that stuff, and all the nice stuff. Had to end up moving out of there because I wasn't all the way up to par. And I tried to skip through the hard work. I tried to skip through that. And I wasn't fully knowledgeable to where I needed to be. So everything happens for a reason. Things get pulled apart. Things fall down just so you can build them back up the right way. And I hope that doesn't happen to you guys. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on with the lesson. And I'm going to show you guys your first trade. Last week, you did the not the WVVM. The first week, you guys did the WVVM, AAW. Second week, you showed how he induced with the 1, 2. Well, that's an ugly 3. 3. You showed how he induced the 1, 2, 3, and turned back around and gave you your your signal. You showed how he was going to induce you and take all your money away. And by now, you guys should realize what he's doing. So we are going to drill down, okay, to the smaller cycle that you guys will be taking your entry on. Okay, if you notice this right here, I'm going to just leave this how it is. This is going to be the big cycle. And here's your day tracer. It's going to separate the days. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. Well, this is going to separate the days, okay? Let's say this day was something like that, whatever. Okay, so our WVDM is broken down. Let's see, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. Came back reverse. So you are looking for, in an uptrend, stop, hunt, low, rise. Actually, let me redo these lines because these aren't lining up perfectly. I had to make them line up perfectly. Let's see, right here. Is that where I want it? Bam, that's good enough. Right here, that's good enough. And I'm just going to put this one right here, just like that. Okay, so what in the world are you guys looking for? Here's your W. Oh my gosh, they just set the peak formation. Wow, they set the peak this day. They came back down. They tried to take it out. They didn't. The peak is now set. We have our W. Okay, what are we looking for? Our Asian box. We're looking for our stop, hunt, low, rise in the uptrend. And they gave you 2 trades right here. Stop, hunt, low, rise, stop, hunt, low, rise. Okay. I don't really care about the color right now. Just showing you guys a quick little example. And then on a downtrend, you're looking for stop, hunt, high, drop. Okay. And then what are you expecting after that? You're expecting another stop point high, drop, then go into the W and reverse. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. So that's how it's typically going to look. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull up some flashcards so that you guys can see this a lot better. All right. You know, actually, hold on. Let me do this. Don't say I don't care about that. Okay. Here is our M. This is our first A going away from the peak. Let me zoom in so that you guys can see all the details that you need in order for this trade to be valid. What are you looking for? You are looking for at least 7 signs. Okay, you're looking for at least 7 signs that this is going to be a great trade. What are your signs? Well, first off, let me go ahead and back up. The trend is turned over. The trend is down. Your first sign that this is going to be a great trade. Okay. You want them to have a tight accumulation range. Which is the Asian range, also known as AR, Asian range. This is 22 pips. If this is bigger than 53, like 54 is a no-go. Okay? If this is bigger than 53, you do not trade it. Bottom line, bigger than 53, no trade. That's your no-go. It must be 25 to 50 pips or smaller. On average, it'll be 25 to 50. This one's a little bit smaller, which means it's tighter. They accumulated really hard in a really tight zone. Okay. So your first confirmation was that the trend is down. And whenever your trend crosses over, how do you know what level you're in? Okay. If we go to the H1, you know what? I'm not going to get into all that today. I'm going to make a lesson on that next week. So, what do we have? Our trend is down. Our Asian range is 22 pips, which means it's less than 53. Is that 2 signals? I think so. Did they induce to the high? Let me zoom in. Remember that number 3? It's not a coincidence that this is called V3 because V3 stands for vector 3. What's a vector though? A vector is a fast magnitude push towards the high. There's different variations on a vector though. A vector could be one extremely hard candle that went straight up. It could be one candle that went up, pull back. Another candle went up, pull back. Another candle went up, pull back. And they give you your M. Or it could be just like this. 1, 2, 3, which is the most beautiful one. Because these candles look like they're stacked on top of each other. It makes you think, oh my gosh, this thing is going up. Oh. It makes you think that. So you have your vector 3. That's your next confirmation. Another one that you can have is shark fin blood in the water. That's when your TDI does that. Your RSI line comes outside the band and right back in. They must be up to something. Must look like this though. And this is called a shark fin blood in the water. Okay? The blood is this signal line when they cross over. We don't take it on the signal line. We take it right there. See how that crossed over? Crossed through the market baseline, which is this yellow line right there. That is our signal. But before they do that, they must give us this. We have our first leg forming of the M right here. And this doesn't necessarily look like an M, but what is an M? It's up, down, up, down. Did this go up, down, up, down? Do you guys see that M right there? I hope you guys do. Because that's an M. I'm pretty sure that's an M. That sure does look like an M. And if you guys aren't quite sure, you can go and pull up your line chart and it'll look something like that. Okay, now after we have our M, we're going to look back over the top and make sure that they gave us pins and railroads. So, what is a pin and what is a railroad? A railroad will look exactly like this. This is going to be a railroad. See how there's one green candle that went straight up, and there's one red candle that went straight back down. So do we have a railroad here? Yes, we do. And there's another one right there. Oh my gosh, there's one. This one's a bigger railroad. This one's a tiny railroad. There's two different variations on the railroads. There's the bigger one and a tiny one. So let's go ahead and say that this is a tiny one. What your normal railroad would look like, it'll be something fat one. Fat ugly railroad. Something like that. That's the first candle. Wow. Oh, excuse me. And your second candle goes up and right back in. The motion that they're doing on this is basically what they're doing. They're inducing long and pulling right back in as soon as everyone clicked into their trade, or clicked out of their trade. Either whichever position they were in. If they were in long, they just clicked in the trade because they seen the price going up, and they clicked short, and they basically said, "Dang it, this thing's gonna go forever. Let me click out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh." So that's basically what just happened right there on these railroads. Chugga chugga choo choo. Okay. So, how many confirmations is that? 1, the trend is down. 2, we have a 22 pip Asian range. 3, we have our vector 3. 4, we have a shark fin blood in the water. Confirmation number 5, pins and railroads. Confirmation number 6, we have a M. Okay, confirmation number 7, they gave us a shift. Did they give us a shift? I think they did. What is a shift? A shift is this. They gave us our 1, 2, 3 up to the high, our M, and what happens? They shift past the middle of this M, and these other two things must happen in order for this shift to be correct. 1, line straight like this, and this yellow squiggly line that hung in there tight like that. Did that. These two must cross. And if you have the template, what happens when these two cross? It gives you an arrow. So that is one thing that must happen, is those two must cross. Okay? So where's our cross? Right there. Okay. So that's one confirmation of a shift. The second confirmation of a shift, this green line must plummet right through this yellow line. So this gives us a shift on the TDI. It confirms a shift. Okay. It confirms a shift on the TDI. Now, let's say you were, a little bit nervous about placing a trade on this. How could you be completely confident that they're placing, that you're going in the right position? Well, first off, they gave you 1, 2, 3 to the high and induced you long. Then they gave you M and try to get you to go long again right here because they did this. 1, 2, 3, pull back, wham. You're expecting that on the third little tap in there. Okay? You're expecting that. So when they give you that M and do that and right back in, they know you know. They know you know. And you know that you know because they gave you 1, 2, 3 pushes up. They gave you 1, 2, 3 pullbacks in, and they turned it away and they dropped the trend. When they go back and they give you a railroad right to the 13 EMA, you know this is the real trend. You know this is the move for sure. And you're going to go ahead and take this because this is the first pullback in line with the real trend. See those 3 pushes? 1, 2, 3. You take that first pullback. Oh my gosh, you're freaking golden. You are golden. So that's that. Another confirmation that you have is dun 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 dun. It's that pretty much. So if you're looking and you don't have 7 quite yet, but you see that, that's your number 7 right there. That's your number 7. But most of these other things should be there because if it's not uh if it's not less than 53 pips, you're not going to trade this. You're not going to trade this day because it's blown out. The box is blown out. Okay. Now they give you your vector 3, which shows that they induced. They give you your M, which shows you that they induced up long again and took it all away. And they give you your pins and railroads that happen at almost every single high and low of the day. I'm not sure if I mentioned the trend yet, but the trend is very important because you're looking for the pullbacks in line with the trend. And this right here is clearly a pullback in line with the trend. Looking for your cross right here on your shift. And those are your details right there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and let you take a screenshot of this. Let's see, undo. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this so you have something to look at. This is your vector 3 to the high. We're going to go over next week a little bit more detail on this. But for right now, we're done. You guys have a great night. Take care. And I hope you guys stay blessed. All right.